Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Anders, who is the founder of Copenhagen Attitude, has joined me on this chat that is going out while I'm away in Sweden. And Anders, you just came up with this really brilliant subject while we were talking in Danish, because we're both Danish. So what exactly was it that you had in mind today?
Well, I thought about this being an entrepreneur and having a startup company as mine in the jewelry business. I thought about the value of creating a trademark from the start. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they are innovative and they have good ideas. Most of them, they just want to start their own business. And they're very eager to get started, but not always. They're not always that focused on the trademark piece of the business. They don't wake up one morning and think to themselves, "I want to create a trademark." They think, "I want to have my own business." That's okay. That's fine. That's a very motivating thought, but I think it's very important that people also acknowledge the importance of creating their own trademark from the start. So,
sorry about that.
Yeah.
It was just a reminder on my phone. Sorry about that.
To have your take on this, Celeste.
So yeah, I'm obviously being a trademark specialist. I couldn't agree more. The hard thing though is that for some people in the past have come to me saying, "Oh, but all the great trademarks are taken," because they look at Apple and Tesla and Chanel and Burberry and what have you, and think, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" You know. So in a way, that's where I come into the picture, because I have created this academy that can actually help people find a trademark. I know it's not, my academy though isn't geared towards the people who are starting out in business, because it's a very bespoke, laser focused, one-to-one thing that I've created. So it's not geared towards the startup, it's geared towards the scale-ups that have been in business for a certain amount of time and are suddenly realizing, hang on, here's something that is actually protection worthy. So I get that, I get your point of view and your take on it, but still I wouldn't think that it necessarily has to be from the very beginning. And I think that you're exactly right, that people just think, "Oh, I want to start a business." They don't necessarily think of the trademark. And obviously some of them, when they do, they go to whomever and they have a conversation about it, and then they come up with something. And this may then in turn turn out to be irregistrable. That's the word I created, by the way. And that means then that when they come to me and they've got something that is irregistrable, I have the heavy task of telling them, "I'm really sorry, but I cannot register this for you," which is never a fun position to be in, as you can imagine.
In that situation, when that happens, are you proactive? Well, do you
Yes.
help in what you say? You help them think innovative, think, what can I then be registering for a trademark?
Hang on, my cat is wanting to join us. Just a second, please. Whoops. She was trying to get away, so sorry for the slightly bizarre way of lifting her up here. So when people are saying that to me, obviously I tell them, depending on where they are in business, they might or might not be a good fit for my academy, because as I say, it's a really high-end ticket type thing that I've created. So of course it's not going to be a perfect fit for somebody like you, and you've got your own trademark already, so that's not an issue. But just to give kind of perspective of this, if they are in a different position, that they have been in business for a while and they're generating a healthy income, then perhaps my academy is a good fit for them. And I'm always asking them, do you want to know more about this? And then we have the conversation about what it is for, who it is for, and what's it about, and what it is that I help people do with it. Because the academy, when I started out, I thought that the academy would be a 90-day program, but nobody wants to wait 90 days to get their trademark, do they?
No,
So
they want it now. It just wants
exactly.
to get started.
So that's why
Entrepreneurial mindset. Yeah.
So that's why when I realized that, I thought, okay, what can I do differently then? And then decided, instead of having it be 90 days, it's going to be just 2 days. What I do also, though, is I have 2 graphic designers on hand, and they are people who are capable of a really quick turnaround in a matter of hours. They're able to, once they've had they've been invited into the conversation with me and the business owner in question, or whomever it is. It doesn't have to be the business owner, but the person who is wanting to create the trademark for themselves. Once we've gotten to a certain point, we then invite in either the graphic designer or the sound engineer, let's call him a sound engineer. I don't know what his exact title is, but I've also got a guy to hand who can help with creating either a jingle or a melody of some sort, and it can be completely bespoke, so that when that person is invited into the conversation, then they hear what we've come up with, and they then go away and come back in a matter of hours with the result.
So they are innovative and think proactively.
Yes.
For your clients.
Yes.
Say,
yes.
I want a trademark. This is what I think it must look like. I think the concept must be a very important part in this.
Of course, the concept is a huge part of it. There can be no doubt about that. So, and the reason why, I'm doing this in a very sort of limited time of space. Limited time frame, I mean. So, which is the 2 days, and all of the information that I need from the person to help them create the trademark is happening in that intensive time space. And also, when we get to that point, that's when we take out in either the graphic designer or the sound engineer to get them to know and understand what we've reached. So that, and also the important thing is I've got the legal perspective, and the graphic designer then comes back with the representation, like, this is mine, this is my trademark. I obviously knew what I wanted from the legal perspective, but from the graphic perspective, I had no bloody idea. I mean, no, that's not true. I had some idea, actually. So that's why it looks the way it does today. So everything that you're talking about is a vital part of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yes. So you can also say you are very proactive in the process. Not only are you advising, but you in some extent you also take part in the business development.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, that's very interesting, I think. Yeah.
And also, I explain to people, the importance of having proper contracts and non-disclosure agreements in place before they get to this stage of registering a trademark. I had a conversation with a connection of mine from LinkedIn the other day. It's somebody who's wanting to create this big event and in need of financial support for it. And this person didn't have any non-disclosure agreement, and that might be a reason why the investors haven't wanting to invest. And also, this person did not mention anything about protecting the intellectual property, which can also be detrimental when you're wanting, financial investment from somebody. Because if you don't show that you're capable of protecting their investment, they're not going to invest. Or if they do, they might do the hostile takeover, which you don't want.
Yeah. I think also it's very important for any entrepreneur to know and acknowledge their own value.
Yeah.
When they're building a brand, because like I'm also a part of my own brand, because every time I'm doing a social media post, it's my person, and I use my person to represent the brand, but still I'm also building my brand, to and it's very important to be aware of this situation. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are aware of it, but not everyone. And for example, if you are in the service industry, you're building your company in cleaning or other sorts of the service area, you don't think that you are building a brand, even if you are.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah.
So it's about looking at the whole aspect of it. And I think that many people, myself included, we have a tendency to just look at it from our own perspective. You know,
Yeah.
we don't always step back and look at it and say, okay, I've reached this point. What is it actually that I need to do right here?
Yeah.
I keep hearing these little sort of issues with the sound. I hope that it's nothing permanent.
No problem in my end.
Okay, so it's probably my laptop then.
The sound is very clear here.
Oh, that's good. That's really good. I hope that it's just my end. So yeah, no, I agree. We have to sort of look at the whole thing and not just from our own little perspective. I mean, I've hired people to do things for me that I'm not good at myself. That's also really important. And it's important also, even though we have a personal brand, like think of Madonna. Madonna doesn't identify with Madonna. She employs Madonna.
Yeah.
You know, so that she remembers to take time off to recuperate.
Yes.
I heard that. Sorry?
No, I thought it's very important to be aware of your own personal brand and to keep maintaining it, but also develop it.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, this was, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say that this has been a really interesting conversation, and if you don't have anything further to add to it, then I don't want
made it perfectly clear, Celeste.
No, but I don't want to take too much of your busy time, because your time is valuable. So I want to honor you and say thank you so much for joining me, because it's, as I say, I think it's more interesting for people that when these recordings go out, that I have somebody else to talk to, because when I do the lives live, I get reactions and I get comments, but when I'm sat to do a recording, I think it's more interesting that there's somebody for me to talk to. So
I enjoyed it too, and I hope that someone will be inspired by our conversation here.
Yeah, I hope so too.
The value of creating their own trademark.
Yeah. Okay, I'll stop the recording.